Ben Warren was a good man, an honest fellow, decent and generous. He loved his country, loved his family, but hated hypocrisy. So when his wife asked him to come with her and the kids to the Christmas Eve worship service, he stood his ground, shook his head, and said, "No, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but no, I'd be a hypocrite. I don't believe any of it. Why, if there were a God, and I don't believe there is, why would he bother to come to earth as one of us to save our sorry souls? It's fine if you guys go. I just can't stomach all the Christmas story stuff. You all go, and I'll wait up for you." Knowing her husband was just too honest to pretend he believed the story about God coming to earth as a man, Cynthia drove the kids to the church as the snow began to fall. Getting more wood for the fire, Ben noticed the snow flurries getting heavier. Inside, he stoked the fire and sat down to read, quickly dozing off by the warm hearth. After a while, he was startled by a thudding sound, and then another. Was someone tossing snowballs at the window? And then more thuds. Outside, Ben found a flock of birds huddled miserably in the snow. They had been caught in the storm and, in a desperate search for shelter, had tried to fly through his picture window. Well, he couldn't let the poor, confused creatures lie there and freeze. He had an idea. Quickly, he put on a coat and boots, grabbed some matches, and tramped through the deepening snow to the barn. He opened the doors wide and lit his camping lantern, but the birds wouldn't come in. Surely food will entice them to come in. So he hurried back to the house, got some bread, broke it into crumbs on the snow. The birds did not come to the warm, lighted barn. They ignored the crumbs, still flopping helplessly in the snow. He tried catching them, but they scattered in every direction except toward the warmth and safety of the barn. Finally, Ben realized they were afraid of him. To them, he reasoned, "I'm a huge, strange, and terrifying creature. If only I could let them know they can trust me. I'm not trying to hurt them. I'm trying to save them from this storm. But how? How could I? Every move I make frightens them." The snowfall continued, but the lost birds simply would not follow Ben into the barn. They would not be led or cajoled or shooed because they feared him. If only I could be a bird, he thought to himself, and fly with them and speak their language. What a miracle that would be, he chuckled, imagining himself to be a bird. Smiling, he said, if I could be one of them, they could see and hear and understand. I would tell them, don't be afraid. I've come to lead you to the warmth and safety of. The warmth and safety of. At that very moment, distant church bells rang out, "O come, all ye faithful." Suddenly speechless, Ben looked at the helpless birds, so in need of saving, so blind to the lantern's light, so ignorant of the sanctuary of the barn, so unaware their Savior was nearby. And quietly, Ben looked to heaven and dropped to his knees in the snow.